Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to call the special meeting of the Lowell School Committee to order. Please join me in honoring America. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, and thank you all for being here. Roll call, Madam Secretary.
Miss Doherty.
Here.
Miss Larraba.
Here.
Mr. Leahy.
Here.
Mr. Leary.
Here.
Miss Martin.
Here.
Mayor Milanazzo.
Here.
Mr. Conway.
Here.
7 present.
Thank you. The special meeting of the school committee is being called for the purpose of electing the next superintendent of schools. Let me just begin by saying on behalf of my colleagues, I want to thank all of those involved in bringing us to this evening tonight, beginning with the Blue Ribbon Committee, members obviously of the Lowell School Committee, members of the cabinet and so forth. So I just want to say thank you on behalf of my colleagues for all your hard work, interest, and dedication to the Lowell schools. So thank you so much. Chair recognizes Ms. Doherty.
Thank you, Your Honor. Is it appropriate at this time for me to make a few comments?
Yes.
Thank you. I'd like to echo the mayor's thanks to everyone, especially to Assistant Superintendent Murphy, who I know went above and beyond her job description in helping us with the search, and Mike Cassidy as well from central office. I'd like to thank all the candidates who applied. I think we had an outstanding pool of people to look at. I was honored by their interest in Lowell, in our school district. And I think that as someone who participated in the site surveys as well as the interviews that we conducted here, and I was very impressed with the top candidates. And in my mind, it really came down between 2 candidates in particular, Dr. Pia Durkin from Attleboro and our internal candidate, Jean Franco, Deputy Superintendent for Curriculum. I think Dr. Durkin's demonstrated success in Attleboro was very compelling. How she was able to, in the 5 years she was there, move the dropout rate significantly, lower that, increase the number of students taking AP classes at the high school while also increasing, having a high percentage of passing, the work they did on their evaluation instrument. These were things that stuck out in my mind. I think she was a very articulate candidate. And if it were not for the strength of our own internal candidate, I might be voting very differently tonight. But I just wanted to say publicly, I thought she was a strong candidate. But when I looked at the commitment and the success we've had with Ms. Franco over the last 15 years, the passion and knowledge she brings to the job, and how strongly she was recommended during our internal site review from staff across the district, from the administrators to the principals in our schools, the teachers in our classrooms, the parents, many of them from different ethnic backgrounds who had felt supported and listened by Ms. Franco and felt her knowledge and commitment to the district. And I just have to say that that was a very compelling reason for me in my vote tonight. And I wanted to, again, thank everybody for participating in the process, and I feel confident going forward that we will have good leadership.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Doherty. Chair recognizes Ms. Martin.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. You know, again, we're going to, I think, sound a little redundant this evening, but, you know, this is a process that the Personnel Subcommittee and, more importantly, the full school committee committed to a very aggressive and ambitious schedule. We're in a situation where we held ourselves to extremely tight guidelines, timelines that we needed to meet, and it wasn't just us. Our community, from the individuals within the district who were able to speak with us, to the Blue Ribbon Commission, everyone really held themselves to a very strict timeline and to a very high standard of expectation in terms of what we were looking for our district moving forward. You know, I'll also say that having the opportunity to look at all the candidates that came before us, it was certainly very impressive. I mean, for those I know who were out there saying that we were never going to get a decent pool of candidates, you know, I think I can speak for myself, but I suspect we all had some concerns around that, and they were absolutely allayed when we were able to look at the top-notch, high-level quality people who wanted to lead our district. And I consider us very, very lucky that we were able to pull from the pool of talent that we were able to pull from. Like my colleague, having gone through this process, a lot of paper, a lot of trees died to take us to this point. The interviews that both, that the committee and the community were able to watch and for our sakes participate in revealed a lot about the candidates we were able to choose from. Being able to have the opportunity to participate in the site visits for myself really helped bring things into very stark relief. Again, both very impressive. Both, I'm saying both, I'm sorry. Like my colleague, I did really come down to two finalists that were particularly compelling. And really, I think represented some remarkable strengths, but also some differences in terms of approach and style and kind of the vision that they have for our district. And I think the real charge for me personally was really making the choice that best suits our district, that will help us achieve the incredibly challenging goals we have set before us, and having the opportunity to choose a real leader who we've had the opportunity to work with over many years, to see the quality and the passion and the dedication, and to know that we'll have that at the head of our system really is an exciting prospect. So, again, as we go forward to make our votes, thanks to all who participated, certainly an impressive array of candidates to choose from, but I am also very excited about the opportunity to continue working with Deputy Superintendent Franco in this new capacity, I hope. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Martin. Mr. Conway?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I also want to thank the Blue Ribbon Committee. I think they did an excellent job. I was able to observe a number of the interviews. And I also want to publicly thank Ann Murphy and Mike Cassidy. I think that they made sure that this process went very smoothly, and I congratulate them. Again, it's a complicated process, and they made it look easy. So I thank them very much for that. Again, I'm going to echo what my colleague said, that the quality and the depth of the candidates I thought were excellent. But what I was very happy, and it did not surprise me, to be quite frank with you, I have been saying this for quite a few years, and that is the fact that being someone that's been in the system for a number of years, I certainly have seen excellent teachers, administrators, assistant superintendents, and the talent is here. There's no doubt about it. And I think that tonight is the perfect example of that. Gene Franco, I have a rather unique situation with Gene, because Gene was my boss for a number of years too, and sometimes you see the other side of the fence, and I found her to be an excellent boss and a very fair individual, but certainly someone that when you needed to get a little nudge, she was there to make sure that it was done, and it was all for the kids. And I think that when we take a look at Gene Franco, the first thing that comes to my mind is that she's a good person, she's a fair person, she's very bright, she loves children, she's very dedicated to this system and dedicated to the city of Lowell. And I thank her for all her years of experience, and tonight is a very special night for her. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Conway. The chair would like to recognize Ms. Martin to bring forward a motion.
Thank you very much. I would like to make a motion that the school committee vote on its choice for the next superintendent, each member having to name their selected candidate and via roll call. Thank you.
Second by Ms. Doherty. The recording secretary will now call the roll.
Miss Doherty.
Jean Franco.
Miss Larraba.
Dr. Pia Durkin.
Dr. Who? Mr. Leahy.
Thank you. Deputy Superintendent Franco.
Mr. Leary.
Deputy Superintendent Gene Franco.
Miss Martin.
Deputy Superintendent Gene Franco.
Mayor Milanazzo,
Deputy Superintendent Gene Franco.
Mr. Conway.
Deputy Superintendent Gene Franco.
6 votes for Deputy Superintendent Gene Franco, 1 vote for Dr. Durkin. It's majority rules, so Gene Franco is the next superintendent of the school.
Chair recognizes Ms. Larraba.
Your Honor, I'd like to have a written consideration of my vote.
To go
I'd
with,
like to
obviously,
choose Gene
right.
Franco, please.
Yes, okay. Ms. Larraba would like to change her vote, so the vote will be unanimous.
7 in
7,
favor
yes.
of Gene Franco, okay.
Thank you, thank you. Superintendent-elect Franco, would you like to say a few words before we move on?
Always, Mr. Mayor. Tonight is kind of like winning the Academy Award. You didn't know if you had to prepare a speech, so this one's coming from the heart. I have so many people to thank, and I'm going to begin with the Lowell School Committee, because some of you all have voted for me 3 times. And so I would like to thank people here and people who have come before you. So I'm going to start on this side because I think overall you've been here the longest. So Ms. Martin, Ms. Connie Martin, thank you so much for your support and all we've learned together in curriculum and your caring for children. Mr. Jim Leary, thank you so much. Your passion for doing what's right, for making sure there's good business sense, I've learned from you. Thank you. Mr. John Leahy, your caring about facilities and children and what's right has helped me to grow as an individual and to know that politicians care about the work. Ms. Larraba, you care about children and you want what's right for the district, and I've learned from you. Thank you. Ms. Doherty, you care about parents' involvement in what's right for children, and you fight for that, and I appreciate your guidance. Mr. Conway, even though you worked for me, and we know each other in different contexts, your support, your passion for the city that you love, your city, has taught me an awful lot over time, and I thank you very much. Mayor Milanazzo, you are a fine, gentle man who has led these meetings in such a respectful way, and the city that you love, I love too, so I thank you so much for your support.
Thank you.
I'd like to also recognize the members who have supported me over time, and so those are Mr. Timmy Golden, who threatened to bring a weapon this evening to me yesterday offline. Probably I shouldn't say that. Hey, Tim. Miss Regina Federicanti, who taught me all about Robert's Rules of Order. Mr. Kevin McHugh, who's also business sense was really appreciated. Mr. Joe Mendonça, who cared so much about children, originator of the Knowledge Bowl. Those people in every way have impacted me. And my mayors, Mayor Miriam Murcia, who still kisses me, but I know she kisses everybody. Mayor Armin Murcia, fine gentleman who did a very nice job here. Mr. Bill Martin, who's a wonderful mayor to work with. Mr. Bud Caulfield, Mayor Bud Caulfield, who also was an amazing person to work with here in this chamber. And so I thank all of those people because not only are you having confidence in me this evening, but you've showed confidence in me over time. And when we go back to the beginning of this highest administration, I have to thank, and you don't want to get into too many names, but these are the names that frame the work. Dr. Carla Bear, who saw a talent in me I didn't even think. And so she brought me forward. I have to personally thank my mentor, Ted Vorak. Ted Vorak, who everybody on this side, except for maybe Chris O'Connor, is here because of Ted Rorak. He has amazing vision for what's best for the district and how to treat people, and I've learned much from him. I also want to thank these colleagues, this dream team, the three of us left and Susan, who went on to be closer to children, have amazing compassion and passion for this work. Every day we think we're making a difference in the lives of children. And so I look out in this audience. It's humbling. I did not send messages. These are just people who are here to support me. And someone said I was going to cry. I'm 100% Italian, so it could happen. In public education, the most wonderful part of this work is that every little child and every adult puts an imprint on you. So for 17 years, I've imprints from children. And that's why I'm so passionate about needs and how to teach and how everything's possible for 17 years. And for the past 16 years, these people, you're just a third of the flock, have brought me the passion for leadership. And I want to thank the teachers of Lowell who welcomed me into their classroom for the first time 15 years ago to talk about how to teach diverse learners the best way. Those teachers, and some of you are here, some of my favorite teachers, so thank you all for coming. And my leaders, principals, assistant principals, all levels, paraprofessionals, the people who are closest to the children, and our people who do all the work behind the scenes, custodial staff. I don't want to leave anybody out, and I got nervous about this, but we all together make the difference in this school district. Everybody is working for children. In the future, under my administration, I want to make sure that that collaboration and that passion that everyone works for a child continues. I am so proud to become the superintendent of the school system that I cherish in the city that I love. We have much work to do together, to bring our partners together, to get the outstanding outcomes for children, because every child deserves the best education. That's their right in this country. And I believe I possess the honesty, the integrity, the respect, and the knowledge to bring this district forward to the next generation. So I guess I'm here long enough that the graduating class is coming around, the babies. So actually, a couple of classes. So I am so thrilled by this honor. I will serve like I've done every day since September 1978. I think every day I get up to do something good for a kid. And that's how I'm going to continue. So thank you all for your amazing support. And for all you people out there, I hope you have a surprise party or something ready, because I didn't expect this. So thank you all so very, very much. I appreciate it. Your shortest meeting.
Thank you so much. I'm going to look to the city solicitor at this point to give me some direction. At this particular point, it is voted by the school committee of the city of Lowell to appoint Jean Franco to the position of superintendent of schools, who shall hold said position during the pleasure of the school committee, subject to contractual provisions, if any. So that's the vote basically that we took this evening. So I guess at this point, I would look to the solicitor to talk about next steps.
The motion can be acted upon by the school committee, and a follow-up meeting can be set up between the school committee and superintendent-elect to begin working on certain contractual and employment issues, and proceed from there.
Thank you. So I would entertain a motion to again put forward this vote as I just read. Moved by Mr. Leary, second by Ms. Larraba, that we did in fact appoint Jean Franco to the position of superintendent of schools, who shall hold said position during the pleasure of the school committee, subject to the contractual provisions, if any. I'd like a roll call on that, please.
Ms. Doherty,
Yes.
Ms. Larraba,
Yes.
Mr. Leahy,
Yes.
Mr. Leary,
Yes.
Ms. Martin,
Yes.
Mayor Milonazo.
Yes.
Mr. Conway.
Yes.
7 yeas, approved.
At this point, I'd like to entertain a motion that we set up a meeting as a committee of the whole. Motion by Mr. Leary, second by Mr. Leahy, to begin contract discussions with Superintendent-elect Franco. Any discussion? Ms. Martin?
Just if I could we designate that that will be a meeting in executive session for the purposes of contract negotiation?
It should be.
It'll be a special meeting in the school committee that will open up in a
Public session.
public session, and then there'll be a motion to move into executive session for the
Thank you.
both parties.
Right. So noted, thank you. Any other discussion? Roll call?
Ms. Doherty.
Yes.
Ms. Larrabee.
Yes.
Mr. Leahy.
Yes.
Mr. Leary.
Yes.
Ms. Martin.
Yes.
Mayor Milonazo.
Yes.
Mr. Conway.
Yes.
7 yeas, approved.
Ms. Larrabee?
Your Honor, would we be able to set that date up tonight, if people have their calendars?
I would think so, although I would probably like to work through June Cormier to set up the date, but,
Okay.
right.
Okay.
The next meeting of the regular school, the school committee is next Wednesday, so I don't know if we get
The
it.
4th, this is the
Fourth,
4th,
yeah.
yeah.
Why don't we work through central office and we'll set that up. Anything else to come before the special meeting of the Lowell School Committee? Again, thank you all for being here. Motion? No, sorry.
Motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn by Ms. Doherty, second by Mr. Leary. All those in favor? We stand adjourned. Thank you very much.